Hey everybody, it's Anne. Welcome back to day 2 of our 14-day challenge to make a big impact in our lives. I'm so glad that you're joining us. Okay, so here's what we're doing for day 2. We are going to really delve into our finances. This is a new thing. And I want you to take it on as a new thing because it is for a lot of us. A lot of people make this a New Year's resolution. So if that was you this year, I want you to think about how you're doing with it. What was your New Year's resolution? Was it just to get your finances under control? Was it to reduce your debt? Was it to start saving for retirement? What were those actual goals? Because if it's just to get your finances under control, that's a really big goal. So we want to really narrow that down and make it super duper measurable, super duper clear, because that's how we're going to get it done. So today we're talking about 3 things specifically that are going to help get you there. And the first is that we got to get out of debt, right? So the average American carries around a whole lot of crushing debt. And that can be anything from a car loan to credit card debt to student loan and home loans. Our ideal is that we're out of all of those. And if you're like me, you're thinking, holy cow. So, we're carrying these student loans for our kids. We're carrying a mortgage. How on earth can I get out of it? You can, but you gotta consider that that is actual debt. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to write out all of your debts. Boom, from smallest, littlest one to your biggest one, so that you can actually start working through. You gotta see what you gotta work with before you start actually moving in that direction. That's number 1. The next thing that you want to do is you want to take a look around and see what it is that you're bringing in each month. You want to see what you're actually spending. Not what you think you're spending. Go through your bank statements, go through your credit card statements, see what you're actually spending, and then subtract what you're bringing in, subtract what you're spending, and then see if there's a gap. In the perfect world, then you have money left over, right? In an imperfect world, then you don't. Then you're spending more than what you're making. And if you're making more than what you're spending, we call that a green gap. If you're spending more than what you're making, we call that a red gap. And we got to deal with that. So in either circumstance, we want to increase the money that's left over, right? Because then we get to do more stuff with it. So take a look around your house, and I want you to identify anything in your house that you are not currently using. I did this for myself not too long ago, and I'm still doing it actually. Anything in your house that you are not currently using, that you could put on Facebook Marketplace, you could put on eBay, you could do a garage sale for, get it out of your house. Marie Kondo that stuff. Like, I've loved you, it served me, maybe it's still got tags on it. Bye. Send it out into the world. Give it a new home, let somebody else love it. My son got a whole bunch of car parts with his new car. They're sitting in my basement. Bye. Somebody else can love those, and they can take up way less space in my house, and I get to have a little bit of extra cash with it. So then that money is now going to go towards building an emergency fund. So where we as Americans get in trouble is that we don't typically have a cash emergency fund. And I'm going to speak a little personally here. So recently I had a spell where I had to stay in the hospital. And that, as you know, our American healthcare system isn't awesome. And so that meant there was a lot of stuff we had to pay out of pocket. and without an emergency fund of at least $3,000, that means that we're using credit cards, we're going into debt, and without an emergency fund of at least $3,000 and ideally 7 months of your expenses, but we're going to start with $3,000, start small, then that sends us into debt. So the money that you've got left over, we're going to start to put in there. Not all of it, because we absolutely want to make sure that we're having fun. So we're going to take a portion of it. We're going to take about half of it that's going to go in there. The other half, part of it's going to go into paying down debt, and then 10% of what's left, 10% is going to go into your fund money. So I'm going to break it down for you. 45% is going to go into your emergency fund. 45% is going to go into paying down debt. 10% is going to go into your fund money. Following? Yay. Okay. So here's your 3 new things for your finance. Your 3 new things are, you're going to go through all of your finances. Yay. I promise you it's not as painful as you think. And you're going to look and see what your actual income is, what your actual payments out are, and I promise you it's going to be enlightening. It was for me. And then you're going to look around, see what you can do, and see what you have in your house that you can part with and rehome. Give it to somebody else so that they can now have joy, and it can generate a little bit of extra income for you. And then the third is you're going to use that money to start working towards an emergency fund and paying down debt. 3 new things that can help start working towards a financially stable future for you. Start getting you back on track for any of those financial resolutions that you had at the beginning of the year. Okay, that's day 2 of our transformation for our transformation challenge. I look forward to talking to you real soon. Take care.